Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? I am using the wireless mic because I will be working. Oh, my mini split just beeped because it's going into power save mode. I might need to make this less hot. Let's see here. 2.5 gain. Is that looking a little better? Through 2. How's that? There we go. I don't want to blast anybody's eardrums out. I saw somebody mention Discord. Does anybody want to jump in Discord and join the voice chat? Because I did set up a channel here called Livestreams where unless you're a moderator or part of the other higher end rules, you won't have voice permissions. So let's see. I'm gonna have the audio piped into my headset here. So let me unmute the headset. And let's see here. Yeah, it's 11:30 p.m. here. So we're gonna do two mics. We're gonna use the crappier mic for the for Discord, so you guys will hear me on Discord using my. I guess you know what? I think Discord can share the mic, can't it? I'm pretty sure it can share the mic. Let's see. I can just have it share this mic. Let's see. Input device Samsung 2 wireless. That's the Lewis Rossman style one. So if we go on Doot Cord here, let me just close out all my millions of things here. Got my miner stopped here. Don't want to have that running while I'm streaming. That will definitely crush some performance here. So yeah, I have here, there's a Livestream voice channel here, so if you join this, let me know. Moderators should be able to unmute people, but by default you will be muted, and you can see here it's picking up my voice. So there we go. But what we're doing tonight is something I was trying to get done yesterday, but we've been having a lot of issues with people not showing up for work this week, and calling off, so I got pulled in multiple different directions. So if one of your boards are here, I've got 7 boards to work on. This one is by Mr. Justin. That's the first one I'm looking at. He shorted his fan FET on here. So these are boards that customers damaged, and we're going to attempt to repair them. So we're going to go over all the different stuff. So I got his ticket number here, his order number. I appreciate you putting that in the box. That helps a lot for trying to figure out whose board is whose and what the actual problem is. So I mine Ethereum. No, I do not mine Ethereum. I'm actually just using NiceHash, and they convert everything to BTC. So I'm putting that 3090 to use. I got my wife's computer with a 1060 mining as well. So I am just I'm going to need my multimeter here to do some tests on the what's the word I'm looking for, on the resistors and stuff. So I got my little portable one. I got a bench one here, but it hasn't seen much use lately. But I do have multiple things set up here. So I will try to answer questions in chat, but don't count on them being answered just because I'm going to be focusing on getting the boards done here. Turning lemons into lemonade here. Figured do a stream while I get some work done. So let's switch over here to show you guys what we're working with. This is I got a camera here. Oh, wait, that's arm cam 2, and it's upside down. Hang on, scope cam. That's the one I wanted to show you guys. You won't see my face, but so I got my scope here, and I got another view here so you can see what I'm actually doing. So you can see here, this is what happens when you short out your fan wiring. You blow the MOSFET. You can see this nice little charred mark here on the FET. So hopefully it's just the FET here. Hopefully we don't have to change the processor, because these processors are damn near impossible to find. That's what's holding up EasyBoard production. So if you're waiting on an EasyBoard, I do not have an ETA because NXP is having issues trying to actually get the damn things. Let me see here. I got Dennis Epley here popped into the voice chat. You should be unmuted, Dennis, so you can hear me. Just mute the stream so you don't get confused. So yeah, well, that'll work. I think my headset's on. Let's see. I need to double check here. You guys can't see me. Maybe I should put my other cam back up. Hang on, let me put main cam back up and move it. There we go. How's that layout? Does that work for you guys? So you can still see me. It's a little weird. I was like, oh, people don't need to see me. Then I was like, looking at it, it's a little weird not seeing me there. So let me get my... Where did my live streaming go? Here we go. I got pop chat out. I'm going to put chat on my monitor here. And I'm going to move my preview for OBS here because I'm actually going to be looking at the scope image you guys are seeing on your screen down below here is what I'll actually be using. I do most of it just by eyesight, but it is nice to have the bigger view. Oh, I hear Dennis's mic made a little scratchy noise. Oh no, we can't have that. You need to be wearing a headset if you're going to be in here. So if you're not wearing a headset, then you can't be in here. I don't need to have much feedback in the mic here.
How's that?
Oh, that's a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah. So your audio level looks good. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my where's my... There it is. My chip quick low melting solder stuffs. And we need to get that old MOSFET off here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the flux. Let's go ahead and get some flux on there. I'm gonna clean my tip. I just put fresh brass sponge in my little holder today, so a nice fresh clean sponge to shove my tip into. So all right, let's get the low melting point on here and get this sucker off. I need to move this forward a little bit.
How's your puppy doing?
He's doing okay. He is with the wife right now. Her friend is in town. So they're hanging out with him. I am out here working. All right, let me readjust my cameras here. I got too much shit in too little of a space here. So, hang on. I gotta get this other... I don't need this other light. I got plenty of light here from my, my scope light and this. All right. Where's my... Oh. Hang on. There we go. All right. Where did chat go? Chat went right here. All right. Let's see here. All right, let's get the low melt on here. Just got a little piece of it. That's all we need. Get this on here. It's okay if it bridges onto other stuff. Doesn't matter. As well touch all this up when we're done. I'll get my fume extractor a little closer here. There we go. Those solder fumes are not good, I'm told. So let's get that in there. Come on. Oh, we're starting to move. There it is. Let me get my tweezers. Hopefully, if you guys... I am using a wireless mic pack, so if you guys can't hear me, you need to let me know, because I might not know if it, like, cuts off. So I do have other batteries on the charger for it right now. But they should be full. Yeah, Discord's using the same mic, so if it goes out, let me know.
Will do. How's your job applications going?
It's good. We got someone coming in starting Wednesday for the GM position. We are still hiring for a level 2 shop tech. So
cool.
If anybody's in the area, that's a job that pays 15 to 18 an hour depending on your experience. So, and that's kind of like a higher level person, jack of all trades that does whatever needs to be done in the shop kind of thing. So, all right, let's go ahead and get all the low melting stuff, low melting point stuff off here. Really need to like put like a screen on my like wall here that I'm looking at because I'm like turning my head left. I mean, I've done it for a while, so not that big of a deal. Would be nice. All right, so the first thing I want to do, and this will determine if the if the CPU is fried or not, or if it just was a MOSFET that took the hit, is we want to check the resistance on this. I think it's R. What is it? I think it's 16. It's hard to read, but it's the we got the 33k ohm here, and hang on, range, k ohm setting, okay, and we're only reading 0.012 on the multimeter for that. So that's not good. I do have replacements for those. Let's see. This one should be 10 ohms. Let me go ahead and change that to ohms. I don't like using the auto range. Doesn't seem to work very well sometimes on certain meters. All right, so we're just on ohms. Let's see if this is reading. Oh, this is only reading 10. Okay, so that's good. So that means that the processor's probably not cooked on here. This should be a relatively simple fix, except this is reading 12 ohms. Let's look at the other fan FET here. Let me try the auto range and see if it works on here. I just don't like the auto ranging. There we go. We're on auto range. Let's see if it gets it. Because this one isn't shorted. This one's reading 32.3K. That one's in spec. This other one is reading... Oh, there it goes. It's actually working. Yeah, this one's reading 10 ohms. Let's check that again. Yeah, this one's reading 11. So this is also going to have to get replaced, this guy right here. So, but the thing is, this is showing 10. So that tells me that this CPU is probably okay, which is good. That'll make this hopefully a pretty quick repair. So first thing we want to do is get this other chip off here. Luckily there's flux on there from the other stuff, so let's go ahead and heat that up. I might need to put some low melt on here because that's on the ground plane. That's never fun. So what looks to happen here when it's shorted out, it sent all that current through this resistor into through to the ground. So this resistor just kind of ate shit when it was shorted, which I'm not surprised. But it's good that that ate it instead of the processors. These are a lot cheaper to replace than the processor. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, Cyberdeck Cafe, 18 is bad no matter where you live. Well, we live here in Indiana, and minimum wage is $7.20. What is it, $7.25, whatever the federal is? So it's pretty good for our area. One of the reasons we moved out here is it's a lot cheaper to live. So maybe if you lived in, like, California where things are overpriced, yeah, 18 an hour ain't shit. So... But it's also not a higher level position. It's just a level 2 position, which means that you're expected to not be an idiot. That's basically about it. Not as much hand-holding required as level 1 people. That's really all it denotes. So...
How's the cost of living there?
I mean, it's pretty good. You can live comfortably here on, like, if it's just you know, just one person, you can live on, like, $40K a year here just fine. I mean, like... we were looking at one of our guys is thinking about moving out here from Georgia, and there's houses for sale in like you know, 1,200 square foot house with a garage and everything on like half an acre. Will run you about $780 a month. So with taxes and mortgage and everything, so it's really cheap to live out here. So it's nice. Taxes are low. All right, so we got that all cleaned up. Let me dig into my box of resistors and components. Let's see here. I know I'm going to need a FET, so I got my little roll of FETs here. I'm trying to see. These are the 10 ohm resistors. Where the hell are my 33K? I know I have 33Ks here. I got a bunch of 10s. Yeah, these are 10s. I might have to pull a 33K off a donor board. I've got a few of those in my parts bin. Let's see. Let me check my other drawer. Nope, here's some other resistors. Are these them? That's not them. What the hell, Tim? I thought I had 33k ohms. There's a couple other strips in here. Those are capacitors. Those are capacitors as well. Those are LEDs. What the hell? I thought I had 33k ohms in the tape. I apparently do not, unless they're in one of my other trays here. I have FETs. I haven't had to replace one of these 33k ohm ones in a while, so I have not had to search for them. Let's see. I know I got my parts bin over here. Let's see. 4 parts not working. Hey, here's a board that's got its chips intact for the most part. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Well, we got 32.56k ohms. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. We're going to steal one of these guys off of here, off of another board. And we're going to put that on the new one. I'm going to use the hot air for this, actually. I like using the hot air because this is a donor board, and I can be a little more rough with it. Let me crank that airflow up. I don't care if I like melt the headers around here. This is why I never throw anything out.
You run out of room one of these days.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one had like someone shorted out the processor and it's got like an internal short on the traces, but you know, all these surface mount components usually are fine. So come on. Except these 4-layer boards with the 2-ounce copper on every layer is a freaking pain in the ass. Like, it just wicks up the heat. Although I got this set to 400C, and this is a 1,000-watt station, so... Oh, look at that. Short work of that. You like that? There we go. All right, we got our chip from our donor board. All right. My wife thinks I have too much stuff laying around, but you know what? Look at that. My little collection of dead boards has come in handy. All right. Oh, someone said they got a Tron XY. UC3D. Who's UC3D? Who in YouTube chat is UC3D? I'm not unmuting people I don't recognize their names. I recognized Mr. Epley's name. That's why I unmuted him. But
I was just thinking it's been quite a while since I had a get-together like this with
yeah,
Discord.
I find I'm a little more productive when I'm doing this stuff. Yeah, it's wild the stuff going on right now with all the silicon shortages. Like it's real. I was like watching reading articles about the auto industry, and it's hitting it's hitting the 3D printing market too. The STM chips are getting harder to find too. Cost is going up. Like we usually pay $10 to $12 in bulk a piece for the NXP, like just the processors, and the only places that have them, they're wanting $44 to $60 a piece for them, and at that point, it's not worth even having the boards made.
UC3D is Derek Sorello.
Yep, I know Derek. Derek's one of our regulars. Oh no, I just picked up the resistor and dropped it. Where did it go? Here it is. Like, what the hell? All right. God, my fat fingers are not good for this work. All right. Let's get that in here. Come on, get on the solder paste.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Your mic sounds like it's stuck in the 90s, but I can hear you.
All right. So.
All right, let's see. Go a little bit less airflow, a little lower temperature. We're going at like 300C right now. Let's see. I usually like to do these with hot air just because they're so damn small.
Let me get this better.
Oh no. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, I got the best microphone I have now.
That sounds a lot better. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's pulling the solder in. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Now I'll clean this up with my regular one. Aluminum. Let me guess. Taiwan's the only place that makes them. I believe NXP is in China. I'd have to look that up. Does anybody know where NXP is? Someone Google that. Make sure you guys are all wearing headphones so I don't get any feedback. I want nice, clean audio. Oh, what's up, JD from Cyberdeck? I recognize the Cyberdeck. I didn't realize it was JD. If you guys haven't checked out the Cyberdeck stuff, you should. It's pretty cool. If you like building like your own little computers and stuff with like single board stuff or whatever, it's pretty cool. I just don't have time for that. As much as I'd like to build cool stuff.
Have you done anything with your drones lately, Tim?
It just started getting above freezing here. So no. And we were in the process of working on getting our basement all set up and finally doing something with that space down there. And we also have to get our pool filled in because the cover collapsed under the weight of the snow and freezing rain and then tore the liner. So the liner's like $6,000, and I was like, yeah, we're just gonna get rid of the pool. Because we don't use it. It came with the house, and I was never, like, we liked everything else on the house, and it just happened to come with a pool, and that pool's been nothing but a money pit. So instead of spending the money on replacing the liner, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of it. Like, I spend more time maintaining it than actually using it, so I'd rather just fill it in and do something else with the backyard. Because it's like 40 foot by 20 foot. It's not a small pool. Like, and it's in-ground. So we have to have somebody come out and actually fill it in.
One of my neighbors has an in-ground concrete and everything, and it sprung a leak, and they decided not to do anything with it. They've never filled it or anything. It's got a huge tree growing right in the middle of it.
Yeah, I don't want our backyard looking ghetto, so my plan is to fill it in, and then maybe put up like a little pavilion out there with, like, I don't know. My wife is okayed a hot tub, but I don't think she realizes how much they are. I looked up; those things get fucking expensive. So
yeah, they get expensive pretty quick.
But to be fair, I would actually use a hot tub. So
Like those Japanese hot tubs?
What do you mean?
Yeah, there's, I think, a Japanese thing named ofuro, I guess. There is like, they're not large, and that's the point. So you don't really lay down, you just like sit in them, and they're small and they're hot, and they are allegedly less expensive to keep.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I feel a hot tub would be less maintenance too, because I spend a lot of time maintaining that damn pool. Like,
I've got one, and I rarely have to do anything with it.
with a pool or a hot tub?
Hot tub.
Okay. I was gonna say, with a pool, how the hell are you doing barely nothing with it? I spend so much time just like checking all the levels and stuff, and just making sure that like everything's good in terms of the chlorine and all that stuff. It's like having a fish tank that you could swim in. Like, I had fish tanks before, and it was I liked the fish tanks, but dear God, the maintenance on them. Oh no. Get back on the pads. There we go. Let's see.
You know, one of the tell signs that the pool is a waste of time or money is when your pets spend more time in it than yourself.
Well, see, our Clara doesn't even like going in it, so I can't even justify keeping it for the dog to swim in, because like it's really good exercise for him. But she doesn't even. Yeah, my drone. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Hey, that happened one time, okay? That happened one time. All right, I'm gonna let this cool down for a sec, because this is this is low melting point stuff. So I'm gonna enjoy. I'm drinking a new Glarus from my wife's homeland in Wisconsin.
Is it cheesy flavored?
No, it's called Spotted Cow though. Does that count?
That's close enough.
It's good. It's a really good ale. Hey, how many people watching have had Spotted Cow? Come on, where's my Spotted Cow peeps at? We got 54 people watching, so I guess 54 people have nothing. Also have nothing better to do than watch some guy solder and talk about printers on a Friday night.
I had shoulder surgery about 6 weeks ago, and I haven't slept much since then. So I keep you company for a while.
Yeah, I told Samantha, I was like, you know what? If we really find like that we want a pool, like we'll just put an above ground in, because above grounds are way easy to get rid of. And they're a lot easier to fix because none of the pipes are underground. And like we have 2 acres of property here, so we have plenty of room to put a pool in. I'm just like, and also it's a constant worry too. Like, you know, like the dog, if the dog falls in, if the cover doesn't hold, or if somebody comes in and falls in, like, you know what I mean?
But you got all that fancy automation on it.
Well, except the cover is what's failed, and we just spent $3,000 on the cover. And guess what? The cover company doesn't cover damage from snow, and it's a pool that's installed in Indiana, and they're from Indiana. So how the hell are you not going to warranty a pool cover in Indiana that you can't get the snow off of? Where's my water bottle? It's right here. It's right here. It's actually got water in it, not maw. Not yet, anyways. That could change.
It all depends on the level of attention that you need to finish the board, right?
Yeah. No, I'm doing okay. It's better than watching that Akuma Mod Guy's channel. That's my buddy Matt. I've been bad at keeping up with everybody else's videos and stuff, because to be honest, like, I don't watch too many 3D printing videos. I'm usually watching like retro PC type stuff if I'm watching videos on YouTube. Like, there's only so much time in the day, and like, you know, it's it goes by pretty quick. So, all right, I'm just gonna touch these up. All right, so let's take some measurements here and see if we get 10 ohms on this little guy here. Then that's good. Let's see, it's auto ranging. Up. 10 ohms. Do we got 33? 33K. Do we got 33K? Hang on. Ooh, we do not. That means that the processor is probably cooked. Usually this will still read 33K ohms when it's in circuit. And the processor's bad, but because I'm getting a different reading in circuit here than 33K ohms, that tells me the I/O pin's probably cooked on it.
Oh.
Yeah. So, that's okay. I've got like 20 of those processors. These things are like gold. Let's see. I've got a whole... Let me open...
I should actually start investing on LPC processors now, you know?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, actually I got... How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... I have 13. I have 13 of them left. I've had these for a little bit. They sit in their little tray. All right, so I guess the next thing we do is we move on to the processor, because if we're not getting correct readings, that means the I/O pin is at fault. So, all right. So luckily I bought those before the price went up, so he'll be able to have his board fixed for much less than a new one. So, unless I want to be that guy that's like, haha, I'm going to charge $40 now. Supply and demand. Sucker. All right, so we flux up the chip. We're going to put the low melting point on here. This is how I remove these type of packages. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a 50-50 shot. Sometimes when you get a short on the fan FET, the FET just takes all the brunt of the damage, but other times it goes right to the I/O pin. Depends on how bad the failure is and how the stars are aligned that day. So, but we're putting this is a lower temperature solder here, and you can see it kind of stays molten for a while. So the idea is you mix this in, you let it all get mixed in with the stuff that's already on the processor, and it's going to make it easier to remove it. So that's why we're putting this on. This will mix in, and then we go around and hit all 4 sides again, and it will loosen the processor up. And then I've got a little vacuum, a little Hakko handheld battery-powered, like a vacuum chip sucker thing. I can't remember what it's called.
Solder sucker?
No, it's not a solder sucker. It like sucks onto the top of the chip. It's like for...
Oh, like a pump.
I can't remember what the hell it's called. There's a technical term for it, but it's got a little vacuum motor in it, and it allows me to pull the chip off cleanly. It also allows me to place new chips on there cleanly.
Suction cup?
It's like a electric suction cup.
Yeah.
But it was like $100 for this little damn thing, because Hakko's like, we make the best stuff and we know it. Pay up. Made in Japan. Or as AVE says, J.A. Pan. Japan makes some good stuff, though. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. It's this little guy here, the Hakko. It's a vacuum pickup. It says it right on it. Vacuum pickup. Hakko 394. Vacuum pickup. All right. So let's go ahead. So now what I'll usually do is I'll hit each side. And the thing is, you hit these and then you got to be quick about it. So warm up the solder on all 4 sides. Okay, you see the chip starts moving. Hit it with that. Boom. Chip comes off. Look at that. Done this a couple, 2, 3 times.
Nice.
So I'll go and try to pull off as much of the... Now we got to clean this off. So now we don't want this low melting point stuff on here. We want to clean these pads off, and we want to put on our solder paste, and I'll use the heat, or my hot air station, to get the chip set, and then I'll touch it up with this regular
That
iron.
thing works slick. Dang.
That's why I paid the $100 for it,
Wow.
because it was worth it.
I'd never seen one of those.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of soldering, but
Yeah, that's why I said screw it. It's $100, but you know what? It makes my life way easier instead of trying to grab the chip with a pair of tweezers, you know? So, sometimes you just got to pony up the cash for the tools, man.
that's true.
So,
Yeah, chipping out on tools is not really wise.
no, I mean, when you're starting out, like I started out, I bought like cheaper tools, not the cheapest. But, you know, now that we're a little more established, got a little bit more money to play with for tools. Like I've started upgrading some of the older stuff. It started just not being as good. Like you can get by with some of the cheaper stuff, but it just like it comes to a point where like the job's taking longer because you're trying to work around the limitations with the tool. You know, like one of the things is like this Hakko iron I'm working with, like it solders just as well as my $100 Hakko I had. This one's like $350. But this is the new direct heat one where it actually has a heater in the tip instead of having the tip slide over a little ceramic thing. So it heats up way quicker and makes soldering a lot easier and faster. So, but, you know, I started out with the $100 one, and then once I had the funds, I upgraded to the bigger one.
Is that the one you showed where the whole thing kind of
comes out the tip? Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
It's nice. You know, but the $100 one works fine. It served me well. It's now our it's out on the shop, but they use that for like the through hole stuff. So, but the new direct heat stuff is really awesome.
I've got 2 Weller solder stations that I've had for 25 years. If one of them would die, I'd buy something new. They just last forever.
Yeah, I looked at Weller stuff, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely partial to Hakko because they haven't let me down yet. So, you know, you get what you pay for. There's off-brand stuff, and I bought off-brand like hot air stations. Like mine's technically an off-brand. I wasn't about to drop, like I think the Hakko one's like $2,000 or something like that. I got one from a company called A10 that I actually bought it from Lewis Rossman's store. But it's a 1,000-watt station, and it rivals stations that are like 3, 4, 5 times the cost. It was like $300, I think. So, but yeah. All right. The nice thing about the Hakko, that one I have, it's got 120 watt heating capacity in it. So if I put the chisel tip in, I can actually solder a bed with it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What's that little portable digital one that you use over on the other bench once in a while? I don't.
That's an A10 one actually, same brand as my my hot air station.
Okay.
Which it's been good. I think that one was like 50 or 60 bucks. It wasn't too bad. So I just dropped this one chip, and I'm just fixing the pins on it real quick. All right. I usually use my my little sucker pickup to grab them, but I didn't. All right. So I got to remember the NXP logo. I always got to look. Oh wait, no, the dot. Line the dot up. The dot on the processor goes with the dot on the PCB. I always forget that exists.
So John Santiago is asking about the TOF screwdriver set that the other day I asked you to. So it's on the way, John. It's just that it takes forever.
Yeah, those are coming C. So it's going to be a bit. I'm waiting on it too because the handle on the one I have is like starting to like get all like really tacky and weird. All right.
Is the version that you're selling, does it have that flexible extension to it, or
yes,
just
yes,
okay, cool.
Yeah, and those are not for like high torque applications. That's for like smaller stuff. But yeah, hang on. Now I'm gonna nudge that. We want to get the pins lined up. We're looking pretty good. All right, I'm happy with that. So what you want to do when you're lining the chip up, so you got this little mark on the PCB, you line it up with the mark on the chip here. So these are just injection molding points, so this actually denotes where the pin 0 or 1, whatever you want to call it, resides. All right. So now I just use the heat gun to get it set, and then I'll go and do the final soldering on the pins with my actual handheld iron. So I just do this so it kind of gets it most of the way there. And I'm just checking to see, make sure it's not walking out. Naturally, stuff likes to kind of center. It's not going to want to really walk away, so to speak, just by the nature of surface mount stuff. It wants to like pull towards the pads. So, and there is flux in this solder paste, so that's why I did not add flux.
Wants to know how much you enjoy doing streams, Tim.
Depends on the day.
and what's in the cup?
Yeah. All right. Okay, so you can see there, the solder started taking the legs, so I'm gonna let this cool because this is a lower melting point solder for SMD rework. And I wanna let that cool down because if I touch that with my iron right now, the chip's gonna slide. So I want to let it cool down a bit, and then we're gonna go and do a drag solder across. I'm gonna add a little more flux on, and then drag solder it with the Hako, and it's gonna come out beautiful. When I'm done with it, you probably won't even be able to tell that I even repaired it. Do you guys like seeing this other camera here up in the corner? Like, does that help or is it useless?
To be fair, I'm only really paying attention to the one from the top. So
the main one?
The main one, yeah. Right now I see the chip, and that's the only thing that I'm really paying attention to, and the chat, of course.
All right. So I like to use when I'm doing this stuff, especially the processors, I like to use MG Chemical's No Clean Flux because if you don't get it all off, even when you clean the board, it's not going to ruin things. The cheaper flux, if you leave them on there, they could start corroding things. So I don't want to, like, it's more expensive, but I'd rather use a no clean flux paste instead of using just the cheaper stuff. All right, so all I'm going to do is take this, and we're going to drag it across the pins here. And you see the solder is just going to want to kind of go where it's supposed to, just naturally. So, and you want to have the flux on there because it's magic flux. And you can see here, we're left with a little at the end. We're going to use our solder wick to take the excess off. But I'll usually then go just one more time here. Oh, it's out of frame. There we go. So, and this CPU has 100 pins on this package. There's 25 on each side. So, and if you don't have a hot air station, you can tack the corners, and then do that. But I like just hitting it with the hot air to get it started. You know, if you use a ton of flux, you can do just the hot air. But I like doing this. That way I know like everything is connected, and it's just my personal preference. All right, so there we go. So those are looking good. Let's go do these other sides here. Clean my tip off. Nobody likes a dirty tip. Let's clean your tip. My multimeter is yelling at me. It's like, I am idle. Pay attention to me. Oh, it auto-powered off, actually. All right. Last row. And I'm going to come in at this angle. And now, since I did replace the CPU, I'll have to reflash the bootloader on here with a FTDI USB serial adapter. But we'll be good. All right, so now we got to get rid of this excess solder here. So that just almost sucks it up right away. I need to get a clean end here.
All right, so the stream is a couple of seconds behind. I have a question that maybe is a little bit too late, but how did you make sure that you're not bridging the legs with solder? Like, what is it that you do that guarantee that every leg is completely...
The flux. So, like, solder naturally wants to pull towards whatever it can actually attach to. So the flux gets hot, and then the solder just kind of wants to flow towards the metal, towards the pads, towards the legs, that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of like by design, it does that. It's not going to want to bridge unless there's too much. You can see here, I'm just taking off the excess stuff that are, you know, is bridging those other pins. Mm-hmm. So, but you can see it just flows. I just apply barely any pressure. I just kind of let it glide over the pins, and you can see here, now we got the excess stuff here. So, all right. So and cool. Usually what I'll do is just one more time. Let's go one more time. Just because I'm anal about this. All right, so that looks good. And what this is also doing too, if there's any little solder balls behind these pins that didn't get pulled in on the last go round, this will usually pull them in. But we can check too with the scope, but rarely do I ever have an issue where there's any solder balls that didn't get pulled in when I do the drag here. So, because basically that solder paste is a bunch of tiny little solder balls suspended in flux. That's what it is. So you see there, you can see that one's bridging, and I just kind of took the tip and flicked it away. You'll see that in a sec there, Derek.
Yeah, I'm using the twice the speed hack here to keep up.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and this should be good now. Now if I take the measurement across that resistor, we should see the correct ohms. So yeah, 32.55K. There we go. So yeah. So that's the dead giveaway, at least on these boards. If the CPU's hosed, one of these two resistors, or both sometimes, will be out of spec when you take a reading when it's in circuit. So I'd rather just swap it. Like, I could take that chip off and then measure it off, but I'd rather just replace it and see what happens, because it's not going to hurt it if I replace this and don't need to replace it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So But yeah, then let's just take a look here at the soldering work here. Let me get I gotta physically adjust the scope here to get a little closer. And we'll take a look here and see. Let me get down in here.
Are you getting stocked up on juice? And I know you bought a bunch of coils the other day.
Yeah, I got a bunch. So you can see here, it is, I did not get it perfectly centered. You see the legs are shifted a little over, but it really doesn't matter. Nothing's touching. So all the solder joints are good. I don't see any, there's some little solder balls there. You see what I'm talking about with the solder balls?
Yeah.
So, but those will usually get washed off when I clean it with I have actual chemical cleaner that removes the flux, and it'll usually take those with it. So, but you can see, like, if I get in here, it'll try to, can usually get it to pick up the solder balls, but that gets cleaned off when you wash it. So, but those all look good. There's no bridges. Come on, adjust. So they're all making contact. Oh boy, let's see. Can I? Hey, there we go. Look at that. Get a nice top-down view there. So I'll make sure they're all uniform.
Is there even a way to get them perfectly aligned? I don't think they were.
You
I don't
can.
think the previous chip was. Yeah.
It's hit and miss. Like if this was a little bit like this is perfectly fine, but if this was like what you don't want to have happen is where the you know, where you come in here and like this is almost touching this other trace here, the other pad. But this is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, that's that one. So once I flash the bootloader on there and reload the firmware, that'll be good to go. That's boring, and I usually clean them all in a batch at once. So, all right, let's see what the next one is. Let me pull up this next guy's ticket here. Who's gonna be my next victim here? I'm trying to remember which one is which, just by date. Because I want to process the oldest one first. Where's the date? What is this? This is March 20. Wait, no, that's not it. It's I say March 21st. It's not even March 21st. He's from the future. There's no dates on some of these other ones. What the hell? Oh, let's do this next one. This one's from Canada. This is from Canada, bud. Oh.
Canada, eh?
Yeah, bud. We got Roger's board from Canada. Let's see. Let me pull up Roger's ticket in my system here. Let's pull up. His ticket should be in my queue, so I can see what he broke. What did Roger break? Let me sort PR dash. Oh wait, no, not PR. Order dash repair. Let me sort by tags.
So how many board repairs do you get typically, Tim?
We stopped doing it for a little while, but we just started doing it. It's more of the expectation of, hey, like, it's probably going to be a little bit, because things come up. Like, thing is, like, if I get pulled out of doing my stuff, which is this, because people called off or whatnot, I usually get pulled out, and these get deprioritized. I think this one, Roger's saying that it sounds like his SD slot might be messed up. Still nothing. Gonna send the card with the board. Yeah, so we'll take a look and see. I'm willing to bet there's gonna be pins damage on the SD slot. And that can happen with any board if you put the card in backwards and yeet it in there. We've seen a lot of people do that.
I think I almost screwed my easy board on the Under 5 I had because of the angle, you know, like was this weird angle that I never managed to put it straight. Once I think I almost cracked it, you know.
All right. Let's open Rogers here. It's a nice tape job they did on here. It says fragile. It must be Italian. Nobody get that reference? No one
What
got
did
that
you
reference?
say?
I said it says fragile. It must be Italian.
Ah, fragile, va bene.
It's from A Christmas Story when he gets the leg lamp. He says fragile. It must be Italian. It's not upside down. You just got to push harder. No, do not push harder. That's how you damage the slot. And then you have to send it in to get fixed. Luckily, the slots are not terrible. He packed this very well. Oh, here's the board. All right. Anything else in here? I'm assuming... He said he sent the SD card in. I'm assuming maybe it's in the... Where did he hide the SD card?
In the slot, maybe?
I didn't see it. Hang on. I'm checking all the packaging here. Hey, and if anything happens, this is all being recorded for quality assurance and training purposes. Maybe it's in the bag. It's in the bag. Okay. Ah, thank you, Roger, for putting your order and your ticket number in here. I really do appreciate that. There's nothing worse than getting a return and like the name on the address doesn't match it, and it's like I have no idea who this is. So I guess we'll just wait till someone contacts us and be like, "Hey, did you get this?" So, but his ticket number is actually from the old system, and I gotta put his new one in. 9594997. All right. All right, so I got Rogers here. His SD is probably not the issue. It's probably the slot. So let's take a look in here. The camera does not tell lies. So let's see. Let's see. Let's try to get in here. Oh, you know what? This might be too far. Hang on. Let me move this up because I just realized the distance when the board's standing on end. You gotta account for that. So let's see. Do we have any bent pins? Can't tell. Hang on. Can't tell here. Or somebody's pushed back. Can't really tell. I see them all. They look okay. But there are some varying heights. So I'll just take the top off of the slot because it's not that big of a deal to replace the slot. So to replace the slot, we remove the tab or the cap here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 solder points. And we'll see what happens. So, and I use this low melt stuff on like everything. It's fantastic. Chip quick. So,
Griffin's in chat.
is he? Easy
Yeah.
boards will be serialized. Griffin's having some fun over there, apparently.
Well, he didn't have any chips, so he's got to find something to do.
I know. Well, so here's the thing. He paid the assembler for the chips, and they go, yeah, we actually use those processors on another customer's boards that use the same chip. So yeah, we don't have any chips. It's like, well, we paid you for them to get the boards made. That's really not our problem. Like, you need to fix that. And they just like, well, we can't find the chips, so just gotta wait.
Wow.
So they essentially gave you a metaphorical middle finger, right?
Yeah, essentially, get
it.
fucked. Like, they might as well have just told us, go get fucked.
Yeah.
Like, to be completely honest.
Is the easy board a drop in for the Mac, the CR10 Max?
No, that's a completely different board. That's a completely different one. Creality, in Elder Infinite Wisdom, likes to just make random new board versions just to fuck with everybody. So, and that's not a very popular model, so we haven't put any effort into making a board for that. You know, you gotta remember, it costs thousands of dollars to get prototypes made for a new board version. You know, and if you're only gonna sell a couple boards, it's not really worth it. Oh, it didn't come off. Well, it came off here, but I wanted the top to come off and leave the bottom because I want to see what condition the pins are in. Let's see. Let's get in here.
Hmm.
All right.
Now that I'm looking fixing an easy board. I think I can actually make an easy board fit this G-Tech i3 Pro B. Like the footprint is different, but the size will just fit.
No, these pins don't look bad. Although usually they're different length. If I recall correctly. I might be thinking of a different slot. Hang on. No, they're all supposed to be the same length. All right. So, the question is there a solder issue on one of the pins? Like, or did this guy send his board in because his SD card was faulty? Like, the pins themselves look okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. I'm trying to read chat. I'm just glancing over. All right. Well, let's get this slot replaced on here. Should have just tested. Next one, if we got another SD one, I'm going to test it with one of my cards first, but whatever. These aren't that hard to replace. I typically try to trust what the customers say. Let's see here. All right. Get the low melt on here. I think I've done some SD replacements on the channel before. Pretty sure I've done those. But I like using the chip quick again. Get on here with the flux. Get all the pins freed up. Should be able to just, there we go. Take it right off. All right, so let's get a new one on here. Maybe there was something wrong with the slot, just something I'm not seeing. I did notice slightly different pin heights, but I don't know. This is an older one. I think it looks like he's had this for over a year now. So maybe the slot just got worn out. I don't wear my slots out because I don't print from SD.
Uh-oh, Griffin's making promises.
Oh.
What's Griffin making promises for?
He said maybe he should get to designing the V2 someday. He said he has many new products in the pipeline to expand EasyBoard.
Yeah, him and I have been talking about different stuff like accessories and shit. So
now, everybody that watches this will be asking you.
Griffin, what the hell are you doing? I mean, the thing is, too, like, even if we come out with a newer board, we're still not even maxing out this processor on this one. But
it's such a good board, though.
I'm just saying, like, if we like, not if, but when we do a V2, like, because it's gonna happen. It's just, you know, how products work. You got to have a V2. We should just make it so overpowered just for shits and giggles. What do you think, Griffin?
Compatible with Daedalus?
The Daedalus needs way more drivers than whatever we would put together, because it's that many drivers kind of a waste. So unless we want to start competing with Duet, I'm just saying. Although Joe from Project R3D, who makes the Daedalus, he said Duet is having a ton of supply issues too with their boards. Like, they owe him a lot of boards that he paid for months ago, and you know they're still waiting on those boards. So now with the SD slots, I usually go a different route. I don't usually use a paste. So here's a brand new slot here. See here, the pins are all nice. The spring's intact. Nothing's broken. So I'll usually just do these by hand. No solder paste or anything. So I'll get that. These are way easier to line up. There's just a few less pins on these than the processors. just a few. Just a few less pins. What do you guys think?
Huh.
Just a few.
Let's count it together. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pins. That's easy. Come on.
Yeah,
Tim wants to know or Kenneth wants to know what temp you run your soldering iron at, Tim.
Usually about 350. Not even joking. Usually about 350. Let's get this lined up a little better. Come on. Come on. trick is heat up enough where you don't burn your finger on the other side of the slot. You're trying to position it. Come on, there we go. You don't need to get it perfect on the first try. As long as you get it anchored in, you can come back and clean up your joints. Now this one is not playing nice with me, so when in doubt, add flux. Move my little thing of little tray of
Flux
parts
is the
here.
Control Z of soldering.
It's the what?
It's the Control Z of soldering.
Yeah, kind of. Kind of. Depending on what you did.
Yeah.
There we go. Now it's flowing into the pad. That's what I want. Yep, that's on there good. Let's hit that again. I'm gonna have to turn this around because trying to solder it backwards is kind of a pain in the ass. So flux just helps things like take and flow out smoother. All right. Lost my position on my screen there for a sec. All right, a little bit of flux, a little bit of flux. Now I am using rosin core solder, which is also no clean flux inside the solder. And I'm using Kester brand solder. It's and for those of you that are not from the US, I just want to set the record straight. It's called solder, not solder.
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 Solder. Okay.
Not solder. Oh, looks like it says someone named It's Me Griffin is in Discord chat. Is it actually Griffin though? I just unmuted him.
It is actually Griffin.
Holy shit! Are you
Believe
are
it or
you
not, the name is true.
are you in Georgia right now?
Of course.
Yeah. You sound tired.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But the night is young, right? Well, it's younger for you, I guess. But
Did you have any luck hunting down any LPCs?
absolutely none.
Just to rub it in, though, one of the Big Tree Tech's engineers sent me a picture of 6 boxes of 460 1768 LPCs. I shit you not.
They can keep their 1768.
I shit you not. I will show you. He literally, because I was just curious because I do like one of their engineers is actually pretty cool. And we were talking about it. He's like, yeah, they're hard to find. He's like, he actually gave me a heads up. He said the ST chips are going to increase in price soon. He said, but he sent me. He sent me this. Just a stack of 1768 boxes. So.
I'll have to pull back up the stream. Have it up.
Yeah, LPC 1768 FBD 100. So.
Yeah, would be nice to find them, but.
Yeah. I mean, I can't just. I think the 1768 would be a drop-in replacement for the 1769, and it really wouldn't like change much of anything performance-wise. But I feel like it's not worth it trying to just.
We just didn't want to change anything. Out
Yeah.
of nowhere untested. So.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's the main thing. Like, it should work, but does it? We don't know because we haven't tested it with that chip.
Indeed, and that's not how I like doing hardware, especially last minute changes.
Right? Just gonna send it, bud. You're just gonna send it. We're just gonna send it. You ever
But
see that
anyone
video?
waiting for an easy board, I am sorry. We are trying to find any and all processors that are legitimate.
We have everything but the processors, as far as I know, right?
Absolutely everything. I literally have enough parts for like 1,000+ boards for some components, but no processors. So
You
such
know
is
what?
life.
Do you think if we ship them without the processors, people will notice?
We could do like a DIY kit.
I would totally buy it. I would totally buy it.
You gotta find your
I
own
will
at
sell you one. I have
1769.
one on my desk without a processor if you really want one.
I have a ton of them here.
It's a great coaster.
Well, not a ton. I've got a few. You know, Griffin, I still have the PCB that says Tough TS3 Tough Controller on it.
I have one of those on my desk that I literally use as a coaster. Not even kidding.
The
Because it
circuit board.
dissipates heat really well. It just spreads the heat out super well.
That's funny. Oh, I see I got a little blob there. Let's fix that blob. The freaking reflection off the SD slot is throwing off my camera exposure. Like, it's funny because if I cover it up, it goes back to properly exposed. All right, that looks good. No bridges to the ground shield. All right.
Looks pretty solid.
Are you judging my work here,
Sure.
Griffin?
I mean, you're probably better at soldering than I am. I pay people to do it with a pick and place, so. Oh, Scott's in the
Scott
chat
tried
too.
this.
Scott.
Behold, the lovely 1768 chip is hard. Griffin, I've got like 13 of them sitting here on my desk. The
Oh, I just
1769s.
found like I have like 30 of them. I don't know when they were packed, but I mean, I have a non-zero amount sitting here, but by the time that we ship them to our assembler, it's not going to make any sense.
How long is it going to take chips to get to Taiwan? Or you think customs going to be like, yoink?
If they make it, it would take like a week and cost like several $100s. So
Oh, yeah, it's not worth it.
I don't really
For that
feel
small
like
quantity,
doing
it's
it.
not worth it. If we had like 1,000 of them, sure, it'd probably be worth
I
it.
actually ordered several hundred from New York, expecting to ship them. They were coming from the UK, land in Atlanta to me, and then I was gonna go ship them. But they messed up their stock already, so.
All right, so I'm gonna plug the LCD into this, and I'm gonna power this board off of USB. Let's see, do I get display? Oh, I got a do. Okay, it's got Marlin 209B on it. All right, let me grab a SD slot out of my little. Look at this cute little stand of SD cards I have. It's so adorable.
Tim, I think I just had an inspiring idea for you, man.
Oh no!
You're gonna make lots of money. Like you get all people with big 3 SKL 1.4 turbos, and say, hey, you've dropped another $90, and I transferred the processor into a brand new
Easy board.
TH3. Yes.
Just steal the processor from it.
Yeah.
We were actually joking around about doing a trade-in program for the big Tree Tech boards a while ago, but
all right, hang on.
unfortunately,
I'm trying
it
one
would
of
just
my.
be a little too difficult.
I'm trying one of my SD cards here. This reader I have is like, it was great, and then like it just like stopped working reliably. Oh, as I replugged it, it just decided we're just not gonna. Come on. Oh man. I'm trying to flash this, but my damn SD reader is not playing nice with me right now. Let's see. Okay, it's showing back up. I got my drive letters. Okay, I put the card in. Oh, I see it. Okay, let me grab a precompiled binary. Just gonna put like an under 3 on here and see if it works. Because the guy said he tried multiple SD cards. It just wasn't working. So I'm gonna grab a 223 binary. I usually just grab the under 3 stock one. And we're gonna put that on the SD card. Alright, it's on the SD card. So let's see, I'm gonna put the SD card with the Ender 3 firmware on here. I know this SD card plays nicely with the bootloader. Let's see. Let's see if it flashes. Or am I gonna have to screw with? Let's see, does it say 223 on it? Oh, hang on. Oh, 223. Okay, so I guess there was something up with the SD slot. Because it's working. It's flashing. Now the question is his card bad? Because that would suck if he sent a board all the way here from Canada. It was just his SD card, and he just had... What if he just had, like, a bunch of bad SD cards that he thought were good?
I don't know. I have a bunch of 128 meg ones sitting on my desk that did not flash bootloader, but my 16 gig did fine. So
That's a 8 gig Kensington one I just used. I've got an assortment. I got like some TH3D ones here. I got like random 32s. This is a great brand. Look at the brand that he sent. This is the SD Kumax.
yeah,
Kumax?
if you ever have an issue with your SD and it's not a actual brand, consider that first.
Let's see. Okay.
Because they die very easily.
Griffin. Okay, so our tech support asked him if he had everything formatted correctly.
It's bad, isn't it?
No, it's even worse than that.
Oh.
I just
I
put
don't
the
know
card.
any
I
other
just
types.
put the card in here. Okay. Ready? Share screen. Look.
NTFS.
No. Look what the file's name. Look what the file name is. So the SD slot didn't even need to be replaced.
There's so much.
Oh. Okay, unless there's something physically fried on a board, I'm gonna test it here before doing anything to it. I just trusted that the card was bad. But Griffin, do you see the stream?
Oh, that's unfortunate. I've definitely done that.
Griffin. It's firmware bin.bin.bin. That's not going to flash.
That's rather unfortunate.
So let's just... to be fair, I checked his ticket history. Mac asked him, is it named firmware.bin? And he said it is.
I mean, it technically is. It is named firmware.bin.
I just renamed
it. It's also
it.
named firmware.bin.bin.
Okay,
so.
I just renamed his card, or the file, the same file that he shipped it with. I'm not going to charge him for the repair. He'll just cover shipping. I'll be nice.
That one's funny.
I feel bad for the guy. Next, I should tell them, make sure you ask the people for screenshots. Let's see. Is it gonna? So this is his card with his firmware.
I was gonna say you should.
Hang on.
Have
It's probably not
two.
It's probably not 223. Let's see. Oh nope. It definitely just took his firmware, because now it's 222. Yeah. Also, TMC connection error is normal if you're powering your board over USB. It will bitch. It's just what it does. So
the drivers are set up to where they don't turn on unless there's
yeah.
Volt, so.
Yeah. So yeah, his card works and the firmware works. He just was continually naming it wrong and told our tech support he was naming it the correct name. Well, that was an easy one. I'll just have to clean.
Extension saves lives. Yes, God.
Oh man.
Hop on Discord.
All right. Well, Roger, this one's on the house. Because I should have tested this. I just assumed that it sounded like the card was bad and the slot was bad because that's also what he was saying in the ticket. So that was not the case. That was not the case. All right. Well, this is gonna go back in Roger's box here. So there's 2 out of 7 done. That was bad. That's
so unfortunate.
I guarantee you, when I tell him what happened.
Pay customs getting that back too.
No, we'll send it as there's a declaration you can put where it's like a returned goods or something like that for like warranty repairs or something.
Bad. Nice.
All right. Let's see who's next one. Let's see the ship dates. I'm gonna go by the ship dates. I don't know when this one was shipped though, but I can pull his ticket number up. Let's see.
Yeah, Tim, you'll be happy. I have already ordered QR stickers with serial numbers for.
You're getting fancy, aren't you?
Going forward. Well, they come across my desk sometimes, and I have no idea what's wrong with them either. So usually they just become paperweights, and I'd rather that not be the case.
Will these QR codes also take you to the website, or just the numbers?
They will not take you to the website, but they are used for internal. Basically, the way it's set up is they will be marked in our system when they were finalized at the factory, so we have an idea as to when they were actually manufactured. And there's an outside sticker that TH3 can scan when they ship them, so we know when they actually got sent off. So it's more for like, we do trace parts and everything right now, but it's easier for us to track batches when we have like,
Yeah.
hey, we scan this board when it leaves the
I
factory.
mean, luckily we don't have that many batches, so it's not hard to trace where the
No,
board
yeah.
came from by looking at the order number.
And they don't stick around long.
They certainly do not, no.
What are you talking about? They sit on the shelf forever because they're overpriced garbage and nobody buys them.
That's why we've been out of stock for 3 weeks, exactly.
You know, I was like, man, I'm glad we got, because I was on the fence. I was like, do we order more? Because I wasn't sure how people would be with like the uncertainty with the economy. And then I was like, I messaged Griffin one night. I was like, just run 300 more. Just do it. Like, just do it. We'll sell through them. And then I was like, then I saw the silicon shortage. I was like, man, I'm glad we got that order in. And then he messages me and is like, yeah, the assembler screwed up the processors. I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a very
no.
not fun message. So,
No. And I was like, well, I mean, it is what it is. Like,
So
What's
I'm
it take?
taking an involuntary vacation at the moment from
right? I was pulling
Whether
this
I
guy's
like
up.
it or not.
323044. 323044.
What's it take, about a week to go through your stock when they come in?
No, what did the last one last us? Like a month?
It really depends. I mean, honestly, when
It's
they
hard to
first came out,
predict.
we were talking like hours, but we were also running like 100 to 200 at a time. Now we run between 300 and 500 at least. So, I mean, sometimes we'll get a 2.5, 3 weeks out of them. And usually we just start another batch when the last one ends. So, you know,
I'm trying to see here.
it's not like we really have a bunch of lag time between batches. But the last 6 months, parts-wise, has been very, very tough.
I know there has been like a worldwide shortage of silicon for like TSMC, etc. But I'm actually surprised that it's affecting ST32 and it's affecting LPC. That's the part that I don't understand. Like, these are very niche processors, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's odd that it's unfortunate because another product that I also work on uses ST. So we're trying to order a bunch of those right now. But yeah, it's very strange. It's unfortunate that, you know, NXP has had this kind of issue, and it doesn't look like it's going to be resolved super quick for at least some parts. We're hoping the LPCs will come back, but I mean, we don't know exactly. I could not get definitive lead times, which is rather concerning. But
I'm trying to find
like
this.
I said,
This
we
guy's,
have a couple.
this guy's ticket is a mess. I'm trying to figure out. So he shorted a part cooling fan, but then it looks like we swapped out the board or fixed it. That was back in January, and then he bought 2 pancake steppers thinking he could use them on a non-geared extruder, so there's a return in that box. So he said he got the new board. Okay, so new board installed, the fan problem was fixed, but it's not taking firmware off the SD card. Okay, so we'll take a look at this
first.
Yeah, we'll check. We'll look at the physical slot, because that other one, like I said, when I was looking, I was like, it looks okay, and it was okay. But I'm not that torn up that I replace the slot. It's not that hard to replace them, and they're cheap.
Good soldering practice.
I think I've had enough soldering practice for a while. I don't know if you guys notice how cut up my hands are between the puppy and doing electrical work in the house. My hands are like just completely screwed up. Okay, so he's got a return here. The pancake steppers. These look new and not molested. He did not chop up the cables. They're still sealed. Okay, so that's good. That'll make that easy. So I'll have to process his refund later. I'll just set these over here.
The
and-
TH3D board is a drop-in for the 10S build
Yeah.
hub.
All right, let's take a look at the board
Yep.
here. So here's the board. Opening it on camera. We do usually record our returns, but I'm doing a live stream, so it's just naturally getting open on stream. So let's take a look.
Make sure you order the LCD adapter for the 10S though.
Yeah, well, if he doesn't have the EXP3 header. Okay, so
That, right.
nothing looks out of the ordinary here. Let's just get a quick overview. Nothing mysterious afoot. All those pads are soldered for the SD slot. No driver. So he said it's not taking the firmware. So let's see. Let's take a look inside the slot. I gotta move this back up. Or actually, I think I just zoom in on this. All right, let's take a look and see if he did the backwards SD card trick.
Yep, I can already tell you did.
Really? Hang on.
Maybe my eyes are deceiving me.
Hang on. I haven't
I
even
thought I
got
saw the pin bent out on the side.
No, hang on. Let me get in here better. No, those look okay. I mean, at least from I can see. Usually you'll see it. It's usually pretty obvious if the pins are messed up. So the next thing to do is let's try to flash it. So I have SD. Well, I know that SD card works. I just use it on the other board. So let's just do simple. Remove the jumper over to USB for power. Plug an LCD into it, and let's see what it turns on with. Get my little USB cable here for power. All right, so let's see what comes up. He said it says test firmware do not print. So we got the logo.
Oh, he's at test firmware.
No,
do not print, so
there's-
he hasn't even gotten it loaded.
No, look it. There's firmware on here. It's 2.20 on it.
It's actually quite new.
Well, the test firmware has stayed the same since the beginning of the board.
Yeah. I'm just going back through here. He said a malfunctioning easy board. I'm just double checking. He's talking about the SD slots. I'm just going back here.
So, weird stuff.
Yeah, he says the menu has test firmware do not print ready across the screen. Which this doesn't. Okay. I'm just going to set this one to the side, and I'll just do an offline test on all the functions of this, because this looks fine. I don't see anything wrong with this board. Like, I don't know, maybe he sent the wrong one back?
That would be not fun.
Yeah, he said, I'm sending back... Packaging up the old board and the two seppers. Okay, well, that will be another one. Okay, so we got 4 left. And like I said, I'll test the other one offline. This one, we shipped in an Ender 3 box. Aha, here we go. Ticket number, let's see, ticket number 7999066. Mr. Steven. Let's see what's going on with Steven's board here. This is for sure repair. Let's see. He said, hey, TH3DT, my print came dislodged. When I came back, the print was stuck on a blue screen. It hasn't operated since. He uploaded some photos here. Wonder if it hit the hot end and shorted something out. Like if he had a big mountain of filament on it. He sent pictures in. All right, let's take a look at the board under the microscope. So he says it will not power up. let's take a look at it and see if we see anything visibly on it. And then I'll plug it into USB power and see what it does.
What happens if the jumper is in the wrong place and then you try to power up through the DC in?
The VN,
Just won't turn
nothing.
on.
Yeah, it won't turn on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I don't. Looking here, I
Yeah,
don't.
there's really no way to put the wrong power. Like, you won't kill it from having the jumper in the wrong position.
Yeah, it just won't turn on. All right, let's see. Do I see anything on the chip here? Oh, wait. I think I see some deformation in the lid. Oh, yeah. Griffin, do you see?
That's a toasty one.
Do you see the... Okay, so this is why I hit it with the alcohol. Do you guys see right... Because, like, we know what happens when your hot end sends 24 volts into an I/O pin. It's a specific area of the processor that gets damaged. And it's hard to see right here. Oh, wait. Right there. So, you can see right here. So, this is a hot end short here. So, this processor is going to need to be replaced right here. Do you see how this is not uniform with the rest of the chip surface here? You can kind of see it if I angle it. It's kind of raised up because it heated up. So, and you'll see it here. So yeah, it must have grabbed. I'm wondering if he grabbed like the filament around the hot end. You can see there. See how it's like raised up in that spot where I was just pointing out. This is just alcohol, so it evaporates. So yeah, this is he shorted the hot end out because that's the area that gets damaged right in.
Probably cleaning it with a wire brush.
Yeah, right here. So watch right here when I put the alcohol on it. So we can tell if you guys damage your stuff. We've seen a lot. So we can tell. So you can see here how it's raised up right here. And it's always in that spot and that's not coming off. Every time I wipe it. You see right there? Let me get more alcohol on it. Yeah, you can see how it's kind of raised up right there. So I'll be able to fix this, but this would not be covered under the warranty. So, but it looks like he was like, yeah, I'm gonna send it in to get fixed. So, not a big deal. So let's just do the old processor switcheroo. But that's a little trick. If you guys are ever trying to see if there's any like deformities in your chip, like something overheated, just take some isopropyl alcohol, wipe it down, and then like do it a couple times. You can see right there really good when the light reflected off that part's raised up. Can you guys see it? I don't know how good YouTube is doing with the bit rate, but you can see that it's raised up there. And this, on the NXPs on our board, if you have a hot end short, you're going to see, or even a bed short, you're going to see damage in this area of the processor right here. I'm just going to kind of scratch that. Like, you'll see it manifest itself right here. So, like we're seeing on this one. Yep.
Yeah, like a bubble, right?
Yep. Yeah.
The bubble.
Sometimes there's a hole in the processor. It depends on how long that short was occurring for. So, but yeah, sometimes we've seen like holes in the processors. Other times it's like subtle, like this is.
I remember the first time we saw it, it was like
it was a crater.
Smoky.
Yeah, the guy grabbed his hot end with a set of pliers and like held it there for a sec, and it just cooked it. You know, you're sending 24 volts into an I/O pin that's got a max input of 5 volts. It's not a good recipe for things not breaking. So shorting out the hot end, it could be either a defect on your hot end, and in this case, since he said it was a print failure, what can happen sometimes, if your print's moving around and detached from the bed and you get this glob of plastic, and the nozzle's hitting it, it can dislodge the wires and make things touch where they're not supposed to go. So, and that can happen with any board. I've accidentally shorted out my Wanhao i3 mini board. It's a 2560 processor. I wasn't paying attention when I was cleaning with a wire brush, and yeah, zapped it. But I swapped the processor and it was back in business because those boards are actually hard to find. The Wanhao i3 mini boards. But yeah,
those are super rare. Yeah.
But one thing to remember is that because your hot end it's switching the negative, the positive line is always active. So even if your hot end is not being told to heat, that 24 volt positive is still there. So if you send that 24 volt positive into an I/O pin with a wire brush or grabbing the wires and shorting them out with a pair of pliers, it's going to cause damage. Just how it is. Sometimes too, like if it's a really quick short, the board may still work, but you might have a permanently high temperature reading, like 290 plus C, or if it's high enough, it'll just trigger max temp and the board won't even boot. So, all right, so we're gonna do the same process here. Where's my vacuum pickup here? It's right here. All right. Yeah, the wires basically the wires powering the heater cartridge touch the thermistor leads. The wires going to the thermistor, which are connected to an I/O pin. And that I/O pin goes right to the processor. Or that I/O pin is on the processor, I should say, but yeah, it doesn't like it when you send that high voltage into a processor. It's not designed to take it. So, and most of these processors all run on 3.3 volts. Some are 5 volt tolerant, like the LPCs have some 5 volt tolerant pins, but for the most part, usually want to stick to 3.3 volt sources when you're dealing with the 32 bits, unless you have a board that's a 5 volt tolerant board on the I/O pins. And like Griffin can attest to this, some 32-bit boards have some 5 volt tolerant I/O pins and others are not. So you got to look at the data sheet to see what your board actually supports. So, but all the 8-bit processors, their I/O pins were all 5. So that's where there's like that backwards compatibility. Is that some of the, like the LPCs and some of the STMs even, have 5 volt compatible I/O pins on certain pins, if not all of them. But usually it's certain pins. Are all the pins on the LPC 5 volt tolerant, Griffin?
Aside from analogs, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that would be the thermistor, then thermistors are analogs.
Doesn't matter. When you hit it with 24, it's
Yeah.
lights out. So
Yeah. Yeah. But that's okay. Usually these are fixable. So. This the processor one. So like these boards that I'm doing their processor replacements on, so offline I'll hook them up to a programmer through the serial header here on the board, which you can see right here. Flash the bootloader and then load the firmware, and then we'll run it through test the motors, all the thermistor inputs, all the in-stop switches, all the MOSFET outputs for the hot end, for the bed, the SD slot, all that fun stuff. So. Better known as smoke testing. We've had a lot of customers voluntarily smoke test their boards. Isn't that right, Griffin?
unfortunately,
I wouldn't say a lot. I'd say it's probably been less than 50 people that have smoked them.
I wouldn't say more than 50.
Yeah, I'd probably say it's been less than that.
Between 50 and 100. But we've also sold a lot of boards, so it's not like...
Yeah.
It's not a large percentage.
Someone on Twitter was like complaining about soldered on drivers. I was like, we've shipped over like 5,000 drivers, like not like boards, but like over 5,000 drivers, and I think we've seen like 6 that were actually like defective. It's like they're...
I think
like,
I can count on one hand the amount of boards I've seen with dead drivers.
Yeah. I can count on my hands and toes the amount of Creality boards I've seen with dead Trinamics because they overheat. Oh,
yeah.
Griffin, I don't know if you saw, I know you get a kick out of when Creality has some fails with their boards, but the 422 boards with the Trinamics that come in the Ender 3v2, people are like propping their lids up and putting external fans on because the boards are overheating.
Nice. I got rid of my V2. I was not a fan of that
Yeah,
one.
the 422s. The 427 boards seem to be okay, but that's those are a bigger chip package. That's that what the hell is that? It's not the
weird one.
Yeah.
225.
Yeah, the 2225. So those have physically more area to dissipate the heat, so I'm not surprised those are doing okay. But I see a lot of, you go on the Ender 3 V2 subreddit, and there's just guys that are like posting pictures where they literally have like a battery powered fan that they got from Walgreens cooling their printer board down with like the case propped open.
Yeah, I got in an argument with someone in the Big Tree Tech group.
Why? Why do you
Like,
even
a couple
why do you
days
even waste
ago.
your time?
I don't know why I'm in it, but like they were like complaining that they've gone through 3 boards in the last 3 months, and everyone
Okay,
was like,
I'm
"You
gonna be
messed up."
fair to Big Tree Tech and be like, that's probably them. Like not Big Tree Tech, but that's probably the user.
Well, it could be.
One I
But
could
if
see, but 3 in a row, like their stuff is bad. But
well,
usually,
it's not like they were dead on arrival. They died after like 2 months of printing or something like that. I don't know. Like it was in the machine for a while and then it just crashed.
oh,
So I consider those like if you kill it when it's on your desk or it smokes on power up, that's usually a good
yes,
indicator you messed something up. But if it's working for a couple months, like aside from you not plugging your filament sensor in the right way around, which they don't have any protection
oh
for,
man, I just
that's pretty
realized,
much the only thing that's gonna smoke it.
Griffin, the light. You can't see it in this shot, but there's a light in the corner over here. It's on the same circuit as the hot air station, and it's flickering like
Yeah,
crazy.
mine does that too.
Like it's
Does
flickering a
not
lot.
like it. Do you have the Heiko? Oh, you have the fancy one. Yeah.
I've got this is the A10 ST-862 that I got from Louis Rossman at RossmanRepairGroup.com. I like it. This thing puts out a lot of heat. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful.
You know, Griffin, I think I only bought, 3 BTT boards, and none
Only?
of them survived. Yeah, only 3.
Only 3.
3, 2. Yeah, 3. Yeah, because
Are you
that's
joking right now?
I had to learn the lesson, right? It took me 3 boards to learn the lesson. I am a slow learner, and none of them lasted more than 3 months. And it was exactly that. They were installed, they were working, and one literally started smoking, the other one was failing, and the third one when they didn't boot. You know, so
I see so many people with that same scenario, and I'm just like, you just spent $90 and you got nothing to show for it. So just spend the extra $30 and get one that you don't have to take out. No, some people just like
to be
tinkering.
fair,
That's fine.
Griffin, to be fair, it took me a while to realize that it's more expensive. It costs you more in the long run to be cheap. So
yeah, it's a hard lesson. It's not learned fast.
yeah.
And I get not everyone wants to spend the money. That's
well,
fine.
that's what I've been telling people. They're like, well, I don't have $120 for a board. I was like, I get it. Then buy the Creality 427 because that one seems to be a decent low cost one. Like that's why we also carry the 427 is because I've done testing on it and like the thermals on it were not good with 12 volts, but on 24 volts because the amp load is a lot lower, it seems to be okay. So, and we haven't had any. We've been selling those for a couple months.
Bad.
I haven't had any reports from people that are like, oh, it just randomly died on me. But I am seeing reports of the 422 with the Trinamics.
They are both two-layer.
My tip is clogged, Griffin.
But...
Oh, there it goes. You ever have like it where like it's like jammed and then all of a sudden you push on it hard and then you get like way too much flux?
You're gonna be mad, but I use a flux pen pretty much all the time.
Sorry, I'm not loaded like you.
Oh no, the flux pen is
here.
much inferior. Don't worry.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I feel like it'd be more accurate. I mean, I'm not at Louis Rossman levels of flux because I don't have 55-gallon drums of it, but I'm usually pretty generous.
I am not a fan of his tacky flux.
Really?
I have a really tough time with it.
I've never tried it. I'm sure he sells it.
He does. I bought it from him.
Yeah, I love the air station I got from him. That's what I'm using here. So
if anyone wants a good hot air station that doesn't want to spend hundreds and hundreds, I have a. God, it's sitting right here.
What is it? Is that $60 one I told you?
No. It's a quick 957 DW. And I think it's like $100, maybe a tad over that.
This one was just a hair over.
Really good.
This one was just a hair over 300. It wasn't that much. And I also got I also got the bent tips.
That's a sizable amount of money for a tool.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the Heiko FX888D
That's what I
And
had.
those two things soldered all the prototype boards for easy boards, so they get the job done.
No, I was saying I had the FX888D and it still works. It's in the shop, but I upgraded to their 951. I love this 951.
I need to get one. The direct heat is really good.
That's why I went to it. The direct heat. It's as good as people say it is. So.
Oh yeah, it's 100% worth it. But I don't find the hot air, like I never have an issue with this thing putting out too little power. So
yeah, this one's like 1,000-watt output. I think the one I thought yours was like 7. Yeah, as I say, usually the smaller ones are like 750. So, but he did a review on it, and then he liked it so much he ended up ordering it. I was like, it's good enough for Lewis. It's good enough for me.
Right.
Lewis is Bay.
I guess.
Do you not like?
Since
Lewis?
we don't have easy boards coming, do you want to talk about one of the peripherals we have coming out soon?
It depends on how soon you can get me said peripherals.
You have some on the way to you right now. You just don't know it.
Oh shit! Well then, go ahead, talk away.
So anybody who has an easy board will now have the option for a very simple pixel upgrade to their printers coming out.
Your Discord cut out. A very
really?
simple upgrade for your printer.
Oh, really? Wow, that was perfect. So we have NeoPixel strips called Easy Neos coming out. Fitting name. And they will be plug and play with the easy boards.
Awesome. I like me some RGB action.
Indeed. They've
Especially
been
when
in
it's
the
late
works
at
for
night.
a while.
Yeah, those are the 2020 extrusion ones, right?
Yes. So
Yes.
I'm not going to show anything out of concern for anybody trying to knock it off. But
yeah, I know which ones you're talking about.
Anybody in this chat, but we know.
Yeah, they'll be really cool.
They're really easy.
You just snuck stuff on the way to me. You're just like, haha, surprise. That's why you showed up on the stream. You're like, I'm going to tell Tim I sent him stuff that he didn't know about.
I sometimes I'll drop random stuff in boxes. But...
All right, hang on. This guy was, okay, hang on. I got to have his slip here. So this was Mr. Steven, and that's 7999066. Okay, so he needs a bootloader flash. That's a processor replacement. All right. Let's see. What's the next one? I'm probably going to do one more, and then I'm going to call it a night. What's the next one? Let's see what's the oldest one here. I think it's this guy's here. Let me pull up the ticket here. I'm not even going to try to say this guy's name. It's a mouthful. This board is quite old. Okay, he goes by the name Ali, and his ticket number is 1022809. All right, let's see what he sent us in. It's a repair, so it means something was broken by there. See if this is gonna be one I'm able to fix on stream, or if this is gonna be one we just swap out for a refurb. Oh, he added a BL touch and shorted the 5-volt rail out.
Oh, Scott, I can send you some strips too.
Let's see
I just sent you
here.
a box today, so I'll send you another one. I just saw your message.
Yeah, I have a feeling, Griffin, do you remember the ones where like the 5-volt rail was showing like 24 volts?
Mm-hmm.
That's when the BL touches are connected wrong and short out.
Yeah, it's a
So
BL touch thing.
yeah. Okay, so let's move to the next one, because that one I'm just gonna contact him and off, because I have a couple refurbished boards in the shop ready to ship, so I'll just.
Gabe wants you to do theirs.
Oh, Gabe's in the chat.
Gabe says, "Do mine since I'm on smiley face."
That's actually the one I was just looking at right here. I'm not gonna show your
there you
address.
That was super freaking quick. That was like 2 minutes and you had that thing switched out.
What's that?
The processor.
I've done it a few times.
Tim, we're sending you over to Taiwan. You can work in the factory.
No, do not send me to Taiwan. I'll probably be like a giant over there. Let's see. Let's see what Gabe. Gabe, what did you do to your board? What did you do? Let's see. This one sounds like SD slot. I'll make a prediction. It sounds like SD slot based on the ticket content.
Platform IO.
Oh, look at they wrote the ticket number on here, or maybe I did when it came in. I might have. That looks like my handwriting. You traitor! This isn't a Creality 115 board box. You traitor!
I sent someone something out in a Big Tree Tech box today. So
Did you send me shit in a Big Tree Tech box?
I sent Scott something in a Big Tree Tech box.
That's funny. All right, take a look. Oh, he put a post-it note on here, and it says thank you, with his ticket number. I could show it because there's no personal information. Look at that's what I love to see. Like, it makes my life easier. All right, let's take a look at Gabe's board. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's do a visual inspection here. Let's see. How's your processor look, Gabe? Processor looks okay, Gabe. Pass that test. So this is kind of cool. I want to show you guys. So you guys saw on the other one where the CPU or the hot end had a short. Like in this section here, you could see when the isopropyl was evaporating that it wasn't like smooth. You can see here this one is smooth, so you can see there's no like damage on this one, it looks like. So yeah, and I'm using Kimtech wipes. Griffin, shout out to Kimtech wipes.
Of course.
They're
Am I the
awesome.
one that got you on this?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. I like them because they don't leave fibers on stuff.
That's the whole. I think I learned about those in Chem Lab.
So
Started using them.
the solder joints look okay. So that looks okay. Let's check the pins.
What was the problem with this one?
I won't flash.
Scott, you didn't get a rubber ducky. I'll try to find my like 2 rubber duckies I have here and send them with the pixel strips.
Okay, that one pin looks a little high, but let me try. Oh, wait. This one's broke. This pin looks like it got snapped off. Unless that's fuzz. Hang on.
He said everything was fine, just won't flash. So
Hang on, let me see. I can't tell if that's dust, but it almost looks like part of the whole pin isn't there, unless that was dust. Hang on. I'm gonna try flashing it with my card. I can't tell. This one here looks kind of questionable. This one 2 over. So hang on, let me get my like right there. This one looks like it might be bent. We'll find out. All right, so move it over to USB. Plug the LCD in. Switch over to my big face view here. All right, let's see what we do when we power up. Okay. Okay. Okay, 221A. So let's try with my card. Where'd I put that card I was using? Did I leave it in a board? Might have left it in a board. I've done that before. I've definitely sent people my SD cards accidentally. No, I did not leave it in a board. All right, well, I've got a million other cards here, so let's just grab one. 8 gig will work. All right. Let's see. All my cards in my little holder here are ones that I know work with flashing. Let's see, precompiled binaries, EasyBoard 223, Ender 3, firmware.bin. I'm going to grab that, copy it to the SD card. We're copied. All right, so I'm going to take this out. I'm going to put my SD card in with the Ender 3 223 version firmware. Now let's see. Let's see if it flashes. I don't think it flashed. I feel like it took those quick. Nope, it's not flashing. Yeah, you gotta be. I'm not a big fan of the SD slots. If you guys haven't already, get yourself on Octoprint, whether you build your own kit or you buy an EasyPie kit, which those might be out of stock right now. We're low on cases. I think we have the plastic ones in stock, but the aluminum cases are out of stock right now. I know that for sure. But SD cards are just so outdated. All right, so let's take a look at this slot. So not a firmware bin.bin. That's a new one. That's a new one. I've not seen that one before. The firmware bin.bin.
I definitely done that.
I've never done that. 100%. For sure have never done that.
Skeptical of that.
No, never done. Why would I name it bin.bin? I also...
I think sometimes it'll do that if you like...
I've never had VS Code do that.
I don't know.
I've never had the firmware side
not
do
from
that.
VS Code. I think when I've like renamed it, when I've downloaded multiple firmwares, and I need to like get rid of the little number at the end.
You just delete the number though.
I understand how it works, but like
Griffin?
I don't know. Things happen.
All right,
I'm a
let's
hardware
see.
dude. I'm not even an electrical engineer, so
Flashing being Octo. I have not tried flashing with the Octoprint firmware updater plugin. They say they have LPC support for those now, but I have not tested it. So don't ask me how to do that. I have never tested it with the LPC boards. I've done it with 8-bit boards, but I've never done it with the 32-bit stuff.
well, I think you can just drop a file in the SD. I don't
Except
think there's even anything more
Octoprint doesn't
to
allow
it.
you to upload bin files.
Really?
Yes. Octoprint does not let you upload bin files.
Not even the X files, the .hex.
Nope. You can only upload G-code files.
Well, a hex file, when most, at least our bootloader, won't accept a hex file. It'll only accept a firmware.bin file.
Okay.
So
I'm
it
trying to
wouldn't
open this
really do
here. Let me
anything.
open this.
Man, people killing SD card slots tonight.
We haven't seen too many of those. I've seen a couple, but not like a ton. One guy sent us a picture of it. Oh, wait. No? This one looks a little like it's a little pressed down, but I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Like, hang on, maybe if I look at it from a different angle, maybe they're not making contact. They're not even. I wonder if they got pushed or bent. I have no idea. I'm just going to replace it.
The third from the bottom here is completely out of whack. Like,
yeah, they're not uniform. Let me just poke them. See if any of them are like... That one's kind of weak. I wonder if it's like... Because they're like molded into this housing here. I don't know. Let's see. We'll replace it and see if it takes... Oh, well, it's a little late for that. Put the card on and hold it down to see. Yeah, that's a good idea. But if that's the case, then the slot needs to be replaced either way. So these are quick. They're not that big of a deal to do. Oh my god, this like flux is like getting stuck. So like there's like this tip here, and something is jammed in here. So usually I'll just take a piece of solder and shove it up the thing here. Get clean that out. or just like break up. It's probably just like a piece of flux that is like coagulated, if that's the right word. All right, let's see. There we go. Got some flux coming out. All right. Get the low melt on here. Yeah, flux is not conductive. You can power up board with flux on it. Well, at least the flux I use. Maybe there is a flux that's conductive. Griffin, are there fluxes that are conductive?
I'm sure there are. They're probably, questionably okay to use. There are corrosive fluxes. That's really
Well,
the
by
most
design,
important
flux
thing.
is usually corrosive.
Well, there's like no clean. I mean, like you're
I'm
probably
using
a
I'm
no
using
clean
I'm
flux,
using
right?
no clean. I always use no clean.
Yeah.
Even my
but-
solder, my rosin core solder, has no clean flux inside. Just because if I don't get it all off with the cleaning process, I don't have to worry about it corroding things later on.
Right.
I feel like that's the issue with a lot of the cheap Chinese products, like in general, or just cheap products in general, not just Chinese ones, but more often than not Chinese ones, is like if they're using really low quality flux and they're not cleaning it because like, it costs money to clean the boards, then like they may be initially fine, but over time as that flux just sitting on there corroding away, all the traces and stuff, then it causes the product to fail.
Right.
That's one
Yeah, it
like
kinda
that's
blows
why I
my
use
mind that they'll like do a lot of through-hole soldering on stuff and then
And
just
never
not run
clean it.
through a bath.
yeah. All right. Let's see here. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe all this needs is a new SD card. So, because everything else looks good. I'm like sitting here looking at it. Like I got a scope right here. I'm like looking at the solder joints for all the other components, like with my eyes. These all
I
look
can tell
good.
this one came from the same batch as the one from the last SD card you replaced.
Because of the fuse.
I can tell from the caps.
Oh, the batch code
Few
on them.
batches have the VHA. Yeah. VHAs are a different
Batch code.
code. Just a slightly
Panasonic.
different cap.
Panasonics,
They are
bud.
Panasonics, yes.
I use Panasonics. All right, so I always check the new slot I put on. That looks good. See how the pins are all even? They're all even. The spring's in place. The mechanism's in place. So there we go. Get this on. I just want to see someone say I've learned more about soldering my entire life. I am not an expert. I know enough to be dangerous. Don't think I'm an expert. Tim's an expert solderer. No, I've done this a lot, and I've just learned as I've gone, and watched a lot of videos.
If you want
So-
to learn how to solder, go watch Rossman.
Yeah, Rossman. Oh,
Like micro soldering, that is.
trying to fix Apple's shitty computers with no schematics.
Hey, my Mac's right here. Don't be mean.
I hate Apple. Everyone should know that. I despise Apple. Yeah, Griffin, do you hear the new M1 Max with ARM chips? If you plug in an unauthorized USB-C dongle, it bricks the laptop.
I'm actually using an anchor dongle on mine literally at this second.
Yeah, Louis Rossman literally posted a video. Wait, you got an M1?
Yeah, I have an M1 Air.
You ARM peasant.
I don't know, it's pretty fast.
ARM chips are for cell phones and tablets and Pis.
It might be my fastest computer. I hate to say that.
I mean, your
This
last one
platform
was
on
your
your
last
right?
computer though. You're used to using an AMD, so got him.
True.
Got him. That's okay. Hey, Griffin, you know the Easy Firmware site?
Oh, I know it runs on a Threadripper. So.
It's on the Threadripper that's in my basement. That big ass box I built with the 24 core Threadripper, that's what runs the Easy Firmware server. It's literally hosted in my basement here. And luckily, because we have 50 megs up on the Comcast line here. It's so low bandwidth it doesn't matter. Like it handles it no problem. We looked at the stats when we had it hosted with DigitalOcean on a Droplet. It was only using 850 megabytes a month of traffic. So it was
Well, it ain't
negligible.
uploading that much stuff. So.
No. It's spitting out little 200K bin files, if that.
Easy firmware got like super fast the last couple weeks. I mean, it was never slow, but it's like
That's because I moved it to a Threadripper box.
like recently.
Yeah, like in the last couple weeks.
Oh, okay. I thought you had done that.
No. No.
I don't know. I think that my firmware was last updated like 2019. So
Yeah, it was on a 4-core DigitalOcean droplet before, and now it's on a. It's got and it's only got half the processor cores allocated to it right now. So the Easy Firmware site can only use up to half of the Threadripper power. So, but it still compiles in like
probably
6.
20. I think
It's like
15 seconds for mine to build.
Well, and it actually built quicker than that. The site, the software just checks the compile status every 15 seconds.
Right. Yeah.
So it's done sooner than that. I had Chip lower the check time to check if it was done compiling from 15 seconds to 5 because the Threadripper is just that fast. I do like their Threadripper stuff, but I have had some stability issues with it that finally got ironed out with a firmware update to the motherboard, or BIOS update, I should say. But like that was my main thing with AMD was like I've just had weird in the past had weird stability issues with their stuff. I will not touch their graphics cards. Their drivers are.
Oh, I've had no issues. I have an
Ugh.
RX 580 and a Ryzen 5 2600.
I've just had too many issues. I had an RX 480, and no matter what I could do, it would not output full 4K 60 frame a second 444 color depth to any of my TVs. Whereas I plugged it, I returned it and got a 1070. This was a couple years ago, and it just worked. So NVIDIA has left a bad, or not NVIDIA, ATI graphics cards have left a bad taste in my mouth with driver issues. So NVIDIA has not been perfect, but I've just had much better luck with NVIDIA than with AMD. So, but Samantha's got a 1066 gig in her computer. I got a 1070 in one of the computers in the basement, a 1050 Ti in the living room for the media center, and then my desktop's got a 3090 in it. So, which has been mining lots of cryptocurrency when I'm not streaming. So, does that trigger anybody?
Get that crypto.
Gotta get that crypto, man.
I don't know, man. I made some money on Dogecoin a couple weeks ago. So
I made a lot of money.
Discount.
I paid for a dual R9 290X build. Do you remember when those were new? I bought 2 of them and I used both those to mine Dogecoins. I mined like 70 million Doge with those and sold them for like almost 10K back then. And if I would have kept that, that would be worth $4 million right now.
Yeah.
I was like, but I was like,
bad times, man.
All right, let me check the solders here. They look good. All right, let's see if we'll flash now. Let's see if we'll flash. Let's see. Ooh, slot works. Feels nice and tight. All right. Plug an LCD
RX
in.
580 is good. It's a great GPU, especially for the money.
All right, let's see. Oh, I hear a long beep. Oh, are we gonna flash? Are we gonna flash? Was the SD slot bad? It should say two. Ah, look at that! It was a bad slot.
Very good.
Look at that! Boom. Boom. 223. So there we go. This one was actually a bad SD slot. Look at that.
Yeah.
Not a firmware pin.pin situation.
The insider's build of VS Code is native
Where is this?
ARM64, I do believe.
Wait, where is his box? I think this is it. Yep. Gabe's box is right here. So there we go. All right, I'm gonna just set this in here. I gotta clean all these tomorrow, and then they'll go out on Monday. I gotta update everybody. I got this one. Like I said, there's that one. This one's probably gonna be uneventful to look at, just because this was a BL Touch short one. Let me look up this one. I got possibly another one in me. Let's see if this one's anything worth looking at on stream here. Okay, well, this just says it's from a guy named Brian. Wait, do I have a ticket in my queue from a guy named Brian? Let's find out. That would make it easy. Brian, do I have one from Brian? I do. Let's see. Let's see what Brian is sending his easy board in for. Oh, there's a lot of messages on here.
Everyone's very excited about the M1 Max.
I just will never purchase an Apple product because they intentionally sabotage you from being able to fix your own damn things. I'm surprised you
Hopefully
bought one.
not for long.
No,
The right for repair is just going everywhere.
They don't care. They're never going to let go of that. It's too much of a stronghold. That's like just on principle of being able to fix my own stuff. It's why I won't buy a Tesla car. I think their cars are awesome, but they won't sell parts to people, and I fix my own cars.
Yeah, I'm with you on that part.
Like here's an example. My wife has an HP Ultrabook. Okay, fan went out. Really simple. When I got the Delta part number, bought a new fan, swapped it out, cost me $20. Like, took me 15 minutes to swap it out. And inside there too, I can replace the memory, I can upgrade the memory, and I can replace the solid state storage. Griffin, if you ever want more space, bend over and let Apple just pound you for a whole new laptop. New laptop.
I didn't buy the Mac as like it's not my desktop. Like 99% of the time I use my desktop. But I will say the one thing I am worried about, and I don't know if you've seen it, but there's concerns for overwriting the drives on the M1s because they swap it. They swap
I heard about that.
Registers a lot. But I bet Scott's would wear out times faster than mine because of how much he compiles stuff. But I guess time will tell.
That's what I was saying.
It's a fast
Scott
computer.
got 4 of those.
That's what I was saying. Like, the problem is, like, you know, if my SSD wears out on my desktop or my Lenovo, I have a Lenovo laptop. I got one of their Yogas. Is it a Yoga? No, it's not the touchscreen. It's basically like a Yoga. It's like a Yoga. It's an Ultrabook, but it's not a touchscreen. I hate touchscreens. But yeah, I'm looking at this guy's ticket. So he was trying to get an orbiter extruder. He bought an orbiter extruder from Printed Solid, and he was asking us for wiring information for something he bought from them. And where did this lead to? Oh, he thinks he blew the E-driver out. Let me see here.
C-card present, file valid, update failed. That's nice.
Let me see. Did Mac ask him about having the hot end heated for moving the extruder? Mac usually knows
will take
better.
A long time to wear out. Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter in the long run. I replace my computers every couple years anyways, because I get bored. But
oh, he said he was plugging and unplugging things and splicing wires with the power on. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do for you, Brian. It's like there's tickets like this where it's just like it's all over the place. I'm like, what is it being sent in for? I should just tell the guys, be like, just put a note, like a private note, like, this is what it is. So I can just go to the ticket and be like, oh, okay, I need to look at the E-driver. Dude, this box he sent it in. This is like wild. Okay.
Soon you'll have a very long Google Sheet spreadsheet telling you how everyone killed their boards.
I mean, we could go back and trace it if we wanted to, but is it worth it?
That is the question. I would say no.
I mean, the driver doesn't look toasty. I mean, I can. I don't think that it looks okay. Let's do the alcohol wipe test and see if there's any deformity on it. I don't think so. Usually, though, the drivers, if they get shorted out, they don't, you don't really see anything. But that's the E. So let me get my, let's test this here. So I've got, switch over to RQ2. Oh, I just realized this is flipped. Whatever. Oh, that is actually the way I'm looking at it, because the camera's right here. All right, let me, I got test leads here. Where are my thermistor dummies? Where are my dummy thermistors? There's my 86 Celsius one. Here we go. All right. So I have these nice little, Griffin, you're going to like this. So these are resistors. And this reads 205C. It's a 510 ohm.
Nice.
This one.
Yeah.
You like that? They're just heat shrunk in here with little 2-pin JSTs on them. So this will read 86C.
works.
So bed, hot end. So this will get away around the cold extrusion prevention. So, because it'll read the hot end at a proper temperature. And then I've got this nice little 12-volt adapter with crimp ferrules on it. Look at that. Just a little 1 amp, or I think it's 1 amp or 2 amp. Either way, enough to move some motors and test basic function of the board. Where's my little flathead? There we go. All right, so we got our positive. Positive goes to positive. Negative goes to negative. All right, I'm going to get my LCD hooked up here. This is zoomed all the way out. Oh, no, look at that. Look at how much more of my bench you can see and how messy it is. All right, and I know I have a motor with a little stubby cable in my bin here. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Here's one of them. Wait, no, this is not my stubby. Where's my other one? Ah, here it is. Got a zip tie on it. Where's its cable? That's not its cable. Where is its cable? Is its cable? That's not its cable. Did somebody steal my stepper cable for my testing? Where is it? Oh, wait. This should be it. All right. Well, little stubby cable. And see, I got a zip tie on here, so when I tell it to move, I can easily see that it's moving. And also when I'm recording like hey, look, it works kind of video, it's easy to see. Okay. We're powering up. Okay, it says TH3D. So we should read 205. Like, there's nothing wrong. We should read 205C on the hot end, 86C on the bed. I'm reading 204. Does he have a different thermistor to find? Oh, 204, 205. I guess that's when the margin error.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah, it's the stock one, so we're good enough. 4th and 1C. That's what we want to see. But now, since this is over 170, or it thinks it's over 170, I can tell it to move the extruder, and cold extrusion prevention will not prevent me from moving it. All right, let's see. Oh, hey, look at it. It's working. So this board is fine. He must maybe his motor is bad on the extruder he was using, or maybe his wiring's bad.
Could be bad wires. That's always the common one, right?
Yeah, because this is working just fine.
I would put my money on wiring, because I sent a board to repair exactly for the same reason, and there was nothing wrong with the board. It was the wiring.
Yeah, I had one at when we went to a trade show one time.
Do you see my do you
like
like my
bad board?
do you like my little zip tie here? Do you like my little zip tie that shows you it turning? Okay, hang on. Does he also have this in stealth shot mode? Because I feel like this is awful quiet for. Yeah, TMC drivers, stepping mode. He has stealth chop on. So he's trying to run this tiny ass little stepper with stealth chop on, which we tell you not to put stealth chop on. Like, I can feel the motor, so, like, it's holding position right now. But if I turn it off, you can actually feel the motor, like, moving, or, like, the coils holding it in position. You can kind of feel a little bit. Let's see. Let's see if it moves smoothly with Stealth Chop off. But he said he was messing with it while the power was on. Okay, let me try holding the... Let me put some load on this here. I mean, the moving the zip tie, but I actually can't stop the shaft with my fingers. Ooh, that hurts. No, the driver's working fine. It's moving, like, you can see it's moving smooth. Like, it's not jittery. Yeah, so, like, that's one of the things here. Like, I always, like, I know all of my test stuff here works correctly. Like, the motor's good, the wiring's good. And if for some reason I suspect my test stuff is bad, I have other motors here. I've got, like, 6 motors in this drawer here. So... yeah, I think maybe his motor's just shot, or maybe it's not being run correctly because it needs to be in spread cycle mode for that motor. Like, you can usually get away with those bigger motors in the Stealth Chop. I know, Griffin, you like running yours in the Stealth Chop, even though Tridemic says not to. Griffin.
I have a Humera in all fairness, so...
That's even worse idea. I've had more step loss with geared extruders in the Stealth Chop than non-geared extruders.
You'd be mad. I have all my currents at like 400 milliamps, and I never have issues.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll set the defaults lower, and then I'll direct all the step loss tickets to you.
Oh, I don't advise it, but...
It's better to run them a little higher to account for everybody's variations in their wiring and motors and everything than to set them too low and everybody's like, I'm losing steps.
Yep.
Because if you run your VREFs higher than you, quote, need to, they just run a little warmer. It doesn't really hurt anything.
And you can get overstepping, but you gotta be like...
I've never had over... Well, if you're like cranking it like 2-3 times what you need, yeah. But... it shouldn't,
Back
though.
in the day, Tim.
No, wait. Overstepping, that shouldn't be a thing, because if it's telling it to do a step, it's telling it to do a step. Like, if everything's working correctly.
No, it was more of an issue with the Allegro
Allegros?
drivers back in the day.
Because I've never seen that, because
it would be too much current to where it would actually jump into the next position. I'm sure Scott can...
I've definitely never
attest to
had
that.
that on machines, but I also don't set my VREF super high, so...
No, this was back when, like, the way to tune drivers was to see how hot they got and to turn it accordingly.
Yeah, I'm just
Or at
gonna
least that's how I did
just
it.
clean this off. It's got some fingerprints over and make it look all pretty before we send it back to him. Yeah, I have a feeling that his little orbiter thing, either his motor's bad or his wiring's bad, but yeah, the eDriver seems fine. Oh wait, I do. Whoa. Hang on. I wonder if he had... I swear to God, I just thought I saw a piece of wire that flew off of this. Did he have like a little short... Oh, wait, I'm trying to pick it up. Here it is. Because I was just wiping the board off, and there was like a piece of wire by the eDriver between the caps here.
Could be it.
So maybe he was working on it. He said he was working on it, and it wasn't working. And like I've seen where wire clippings fall in the right spot and it shorts things out. Here. This is what just came off the board by the eDriver. See this? I have not been clipping any wires over here.
So he said he was working on it?
Yeah.
Over it? Yeah, that could be it. It's a very good tip is, one, do not work over your board, but if you do,
blow it off.
Compressed air.
Yeah, blow it off.
Because that'll make your day.
I'm surprised that made it here with this, because I have not clipped any wires here. That was definitely a wire clipping. There were no wire clippings on my bench. This was all clean. Yeah, here's another one right here. He was definitely working over this. You see this, Griffin? There's another one here by the USB port.
That'll be it.
So maybe the driver's just going in protection mode. But seems to
Oh
be
yeah, the
working fine.
Trinamics are pretty smart. You got to hit them in like really vulnerable spots for them to become an issue.
Yeah, they're hard-ish to kill. Basically, long-term use with no cooling or improper board copper count is usually what will do them in. It's more of a gradual death, not more of like an instant death. So, but it is almost 2 o'clock here. And I think I'm going to wrap the stream up. I'm probably going to stay in Discord for a little while for you guys that are in here. You want to chat. But hope you guys learned something. And if any of these boards were yours, I will be sending you an email tomorrow. I'm not going to type up ticket replies right now. And I've got boards I got to clean, and I do that in the garage because it's messy. I actually use MG Chemicals. Their, what is it? Not their regular flux remover, their heftier duty one. You know what I'm talking about, Griffin. They've got the 2 different levels. So
Yeah, the get all the shit off my board one.
yes, that's what I use, is to get all the shit off my board one. So
No, the
also,
actual-
for anybody watching, if there's any home automation people, I do have samples coming in for the E27 style bulbs, like what we use here in the US, like the screw-in type bulbs with ESP chips in them. And they're 9 watts, they're RGB, and they do cool white and warm white, and they have separate arrays. So that's going to be our next smart home product we're going to be working on here. Because I had a really hard time finding some. I found one seller on AliExpress. We'll see if they actually... if I get them, that claims they have ESP chips in them, so I can run TAS mode on them. But that's gonna be our next smart home product, is a bulb, a Wi-Fi bulb, and I got samples coming in for those. So if you're interested, let me know. You can email streams@th3dstudio.com, because if they do end up working. If they do end up working and I like them, like the quality's good, the light output's good, then I'm going to do a small order of them and look for people to test them. So if you guys are interested, let me know. Wait, TH3 Studio, Tim, all vape mailing to homes will be banned on the first. Get your... Wait, what? Oh, yeah, no, I know. Oh, yeah, that's a good... I mean, I know, I think one of the guys, I think Dennis vapes in here. Yeah, there was a thing, I think it was in the COVID bill that was passed last year. UPS, FedEx, and USPS can no longer ship vape products. Coils, juice, even juice with no nicotine in it. They can't ship anything. No coils, no mods, no tanks, no replacement parts for your tanks or your mods. It's all banned. So, thanks, government, for screwing us over. I guess I'll just have to, go outside and go see people in person when we're all supposed to be staying home. But hey, whatever. Think of the children. That's literally what they put it under. So they literally were like, think of the children. Be better parents. Raise your kids. I could rant about this for hours. So we'll take that offline to Discord. But anyways, I hope you guys learned something. I appreciate people hanging out, and hope you guys learned something. So sorry this week's been kind of a mess. Like I said, we've been trying to find a replacement for our general manager, because Aaron gave us his notice, and yeah, so, but we got a replacement. He's starting Wednesday, so it's all good. We'll get things back in the swing, get things moving smoother here, and get me in a position where I can actually start working on stuff again. So I'll talk to you guys all later, and as always, happy printing.